Okay. Does anybody have a notes or a way to recap what happened last time?
I think the last thing I remember, we were debating about figuring out where to and which way to go, because John reminded us about making sure there was nothing following our trail. But then eventually we were all thinking, and we would just have to get down there and down the pit, I think. And then after climbing down, I don't remember that much, unfortunately. We ended up wandering through this maze until we got to this pit of fire snakes, and that's about all I can remember.
Mhm.
Fought the bugbear. Sorry, go Chris.
Oh no, I was just to go for it.
Was the bugbear last time or 2 times ago?
I think it was last time. We did all of the whatever we did downstairs all in one fell swoop.
Oh, really?
We went down the thing. We fought the skeletons, the little plant dudes, the bugbear, and the rats, and then made the goblin dudes worship me.
That's right.
important.
I remember that. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then we barricaded that door and then traveled southward to explore that little crack.
Because you had heard that there was a
and the
shrine.
church.
Yeah, and you went and took a look at the shrine and found that it was at rest, not active in any sense. And then who was it? Jin who snuck in here and got smacked first? I don't remember. I think it was Jin who went ahead, but oh no, it was Connery. Okay, Connery went in and got smacked before he ran away. And then Tados held off a bunch of them by himself. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, awesome. So you guys have been exploring the Sunless Citadel, seeking out some adventures that have been down here previously. So far, you have found the remains of 2 of the adventurers so far, if I remember correctly, or at least stories.
Yeah, I think it was the fighter and the ranger.
And the ranger. That's correct.
Yeah, we found the ranger later on because most every other NPC that we talked to said that they only saw 3 of the party members, and we know one of the hobgoblins had hobgoblin or bug. I want to say hobgoblin. The hobgoblins basically gave the fighter the axe, so to speak.
Yes, exactly. And then
did we break Hobgoblin's leg that one session?
Yes. In fact, let me go back. I'm gonna check the map real quick. If I remember correctly, yeah, he's still locked up in a room. So is Meepo. You guys just left them there.
Wow.
So, just so you're,
well, let's hope nobody
reminder.
catches up with us about that.
Down here, the fire snakes ambushed you guys and did a lot of damage, but you guys all managed to hold on. I think
just barely.
I think one person went unconscious, but I think the plan was for you guys to take a long rest, given the fact that all of your resources have been expended and you've been in like 4 combats, I think, since last time. And then you guys,
yeah, I think so.
And then you guys were aware that in the area of the labs where you found the goblins and had them worshiping you for saving their lives, Moku, and where you also discovered, and I think Connery took a sample of the potion that was being fed to the rat that seems to be infecting it with a disease similar to the rat that you had encountered in the area where you found Caracas's corpse. You know that in that area of the labs, there was a way to continue on to the west, delving deeper into the Sunless Citadel as you seek out Balak, the Outcast, and whatever else seems to be going on in this area, as well as the 2 other adventurers that you have come to find.
Speaking of, didn't we encounter the Outcast, at least just in passing? Not like we fought him, but we He encountered him at one point and he just bolted or
Nope,
something?
you guys have not yet had any interaction with the outcast. You have only heard things about
Okay.
him from goblins and from the kobolds. Both have mentioned him to you to varying levels of information, detail.
All right.
Okay. Okay, so you guys are here, rested. I think I was talking previously. I think I said we'll do loot when we get back because it had already been kind of a long session. We were right at the end of the time that we were looking at last time. And our treasurer wasn't here, so I wanted to make sure there was no confusion. Um, as you guys finish up this combat here, burned and singed corpses of fire snakes just laying about with pieces of stone still molten hot in areas near the corpses, the holes in and out all around the walls where they have been burrowing, um, radiating heat. You guys take a brief moment and kind of move the corpses out of the way. Carefully, Tados uses his fire resistance and armor to manage that before giving a quick examination of the area. And you actually find that these snakes, someone wanted to gain the favor of these snakes because scattered back in the areas where some of the snakes came out of, you actually find 7 sapphires that are worth 50 gold pieces each. So that's a good few hundred gold in this area. Okay. So, what do you do?
Am I revived?
You are conscious, yes.
We're probably all gonna take a long rest anyways.
Yeah, I think the plan was to take a long rest.
Yeah.
Want
You guys-
damage dealing spells.
Man, Jen almost died. Right? 2 death saves.
Dang, I missed an epic combat.
It was.
Yeah, we almost got murdered. We were not ready for these guys.
Oh no. Well, do you guys think this is a good place to take a rest? Like, there's a little choke point up here, so I mean, it might be a little bit easier to guard. I don't know if it's very comfortable or nice down here, though.
I mean, there's more holes in the ground, which is where they had come out of.
Oh,
So we should
okay,
probably
okay.
investigate that.
Yeah, we should probably look at the holes and then maybe.
Okay.
Try to pick them up with stones again.
Or we could always go into the temple or something because we know that's empty.
Hmm.
If
Okay.
I wasn't almost dead, I was kind of hoping to go back and check on Meepo and the hobgoblin just to make sure that they don't flop over dead since we left them locked.
That's gonna be
They're
a
rude.
long hike, man. That's gonna be a long hike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it technically it hasn't been that long, right? Or how long?
So
Actually, no, it
between
We
you
rested a
guys,
couple times.
you guys took a short rest before you came down. You came down, you explored and fought, and then explored and then fought again. So it's easily been a number of hours at this point, not minutes.
So, question
Mm-hmm.
with the whole, what's it called, the fire snake, was it?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of like using cunning artisan in order to like use its skins or use its pretty much.
So what do you want to make?
I was thinking of making. I don't know if it's like able to have like a fire resistant or something along those lines, enhanced weapons out of it.
Okay.
But if not, I would like to make like something along the lines of like
A fire resistant what?
weapons or armor.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Weapons generally aren't too worried about fire, and I don't
Oh, yeah, that's
think you
true.
can imbue a weapon with any fire properties. but some sort of
Okay.
armor from their skins. Okay, but for armor for who? Because you, as a barbarian, I believe, are not using armor currently.
No, I'm not.
Do you want to make like a
And
Just like,
definitely
uh,
not
something
me, since
to
I have
try and add
unarmored
some fire
defense.
resistance? What are you thinking?
I was thinking like along the lines of getting just like more weapons for myself. I was thinking about that, just like maybe getting like a secondary like a club or a javelin along those lines.
Hmm.
So-
I don't know if this is relevant, but during my
Okay.
research for those practice builds, I find a lot of. I don't know if you couldn't necessarily make the weapons just with a crafting necessarily. You'd have to imbue it with some kind of magic, and usually that would require some kind of spell casting.
Right, if you're gonna
And
add
Okay.
fire to it, but just making a regular weapon should be possible.
Okay.
Let me see. If you want to make a club, I don't know that the fire snake's gonna have any pieces to it that would lend itself to making into a club.
But it has fangs, right?
It does have fangs.
Okay. So instead of a club, I will make probably better if I just like make more darts.
Okay,
then.
go ahead and roll a d4. And you can do that during the long. So you guys are you gonna rest here or not? Because if not, you can just collect the materials and we can just have the roll later. I mean, yeah.
Is it r/d4?
/r space d4
/r.
or /roll. Yeah. Oh, nice.
To be honest, my near-death experience has scarred me, and I'm kind of scared of just chilling
Okay.
with holes that we don't know about.
So what are you gonna do?
Sleeping in the temple. Should we sleep in the temple?
Probably should.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Do we want to look at the holes anymore before we get out of here, or are we done tempting Faye?
Go ahead and roll investigation, Conrad.
Okay, 1 sec.
Since you would do that, just because you're here.
Boink.
25.
Oh, nice.
Yay for an end.
So, so as you
So
go ahead,
sorry. How many darts do I get? I rolled
you
like
get 4 darts, and
Okay.
you can just put them in because it's smooth enough.
Yeah.
So as
Okay.
Conry takes a moment after the battle, his I think the tentacle lasts, is it a minute or 10 minutes?
It's 1 minute, so it's 10
Yeah,
rounds.
okay. So the
Yeah.
tentacle that helped greatly in the battle silently fades away in magic as he begins to scour the area. It was actually at this time where the sapphires were first located, and also as he looks in, he sees the evidence of these creatures. Go ahead and roll me a nature check as well, please, Connor.
Okay. Oof.
Okay. And so he can tell that this area, the fire snakes are very territorial. There's not anything else in this area. And as you remember the sheer amount of combat and sounds that was happening, you look around at the 4 snakes that have been kind of piled over off to the side where Bowmander went and was taking some pieces from them. And you believe that if there were any other snakes that were living here, that they would have come out and fought with these snakes. At the same time, you also could you just know that there's holes in this area there that are in the walls and in the floors and in the ceilings. So it's not completely closed off, even though from like a floor plan standpoint, it looks like the only entrance is from up above.
I will relay this to the team and basically say, yeah, let's go sleep in the temple.
Okay.
Ain't worth it.
I very, I agree.
Okay. Xander actually kind of,
Yeah, let's.
before you even finished looking, he just looked over at you, got a feel from his edgelord brother what was going on, and decided to just leave before everyone else was even there. And you guys don't know exactly where he went, but he just kind of walked off. As he did, Tados noticed and kind of sits at the front, still guarding and waiting to hear. And after Connery makes a suggestion, he says, "All right, let's go." And he just starts walking off in that direction as well. Towards the shrine that was just a little bit over to the side. Okay.
Quick question,
Go ahead.
Will. Do I have 6 prepared spells as a second level druid with a +4 whiz mod?
Yes, you should have 6 prepared spells with a 4+4 modifier and second level. How many prepared spells did you think you had?
I think I was running around with 2.
That's very unfortunate.
That explains why I could do no damage. All right. Well, I'm gonna just throw in like an extra 4 and maybe not need to rest.
Well, you
then.
can.
Actually, I
Well,
still
no,
have
you
to
don't
roll.
get more spell slots. You get more spells prepared.
Yeah, but I
So you see the
have basically
spells.
only had Entangle and Cure Wounds.
No, so do you see the spells that have red dots next to them?
Yes.
So use the red dots to determine what's prepared.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
I know
actually,
that. I only had 2.
but you as a
as a tech magic actually.
Okay, but as a land druid, you actually have more than 6 spells prepared because you get your circles. Oh no, you don't have them yet. At 3rd level, you'll have more spells prepared because you get spells from your circle.
Okay, cool. Just good to know that I'm more powerful than I thought I was.
Yeah.
All right.
Because on your sheet, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spells prepared. Oh, you get a couple of spells from your race.
From my
Mark
my,
of handling.
my race trait. So
I don't remember how that works. One moment.
I think it's either animal. I think it's animal friendship as well as talk to animals or something like that. And then I also have the creator destroy water from the gourd. So I just added one.
The gourd.
Now, so
the
I think
gourd gives you shape water, not creator destroy water.
Sorry. Yeah. Scrolling down.
Okay, so just make sure you only have 6 red circles. After this long rest.
In total, or after the cantrips and the racial traits?
So the cantrips don't have a spot for red dots on your spell sheet.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
So just make sure that you only have. You can pick any of these spells. These are all the spells available to you. Make sure you only have 6 of them with red dots after this long rest. I'm going to move your token over so that it's over here. Okay, so you guys come over here to do your long rest. Is there anything that you guys want to do besides Bowmander's creation of darts during this time?
See.
Wait, I have 2 failed death saves, right?
Yeah, but those reset when you revive.
All right, yeah, I think after everything that was going on, I mean, I was obviously in a rush to try and find the lost party members, but I guess in the back of Thea's mind, she was kind of, yeah, I know we've kind of thought about this, Chris. Just, it's been a while since we talked about it, but Thea has been noticing more and more some things about Connery that just didn't seem quite right. I don't know how I would describe it off the top of my head since it's been a while since we looked at the information, but yeah, I have been noticing that Connery's been a little, I guess, uneasy lately. So I guess I would just have her or go over to him and check to see if he's doing all right, considering everything we've been going through, especially the near-death experience with the snakes.
Okay.
Sorry, it's been like literally a month, so I'm kind of trying to recatch my bearings in my notes right now.
That's fine. It's been a while for all.
Yeah.
We could maybe do that. Give me time to read here. If people want to do other things, they're certainly free to. As I read desperately.
Jian had a near-death experience, and Moku didn't try and use fire against the fire elementals this time. So that's an improvement.
But we roll hit die, right? Is that long resting?
Long resting, you just get full hit points back at the end of 8 hours.
Beautiful.
Do we get our hit die back as well?
You get half of your hit die back. So
Okay.
whatever you would get 1 hit die back in this case if you had used it.
Yep.
Right.
Let's see.
Also, as a out of character moment here, Andy, I think after the fire snake thing, you might, and just as a out of character moment, I'm not saying Moku should do this, but after the fire snake thing, maybe try and come up with a spell that could do more than just fire damage. Because if we're gonna encounter more things like that, maybe find some more
that's why
damage types like cold damage or something.
Yeah.
Again, out of character moment, and Thea doesn't know anything about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm excited to rest because I can change my spells to be more offensive.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Alton kept people alive, as is his job. You guys
no more slots remaining. So I was like, oh, I guess I did something. I don't even remember. I could have sworn I at least had that one.
You used one of your last spell to bring back Jian from the brink of death, actually.
Okay. Well spent.
Yeah. You saved our bacon big time. At Theo/Acra, I think reading my notes, unless you had a more pointed question, Connery would probably just be like, "Yeah, I'm fine." That was rough, but all's well.
I think aside that may be so, but I think I've noticed maybe you've been having. Hold on, Connery's been wearing kind of a hood lately, or just been covering his neck.
I've been wearing a cloak, but yeah.
All right, yeah. So, I mean, even with everything going on, and I think Thea's noted that. Wait, hold on. Out of character moment. Connery, does he have dark vision?
He does have dark vision, yes.
All right. Well, that's a little. But he looks human.
Yes, I generally look human, except I have dark vision and I always wear a cloak.
All right. Well, Thea wouldn't be. All right. It's kind of readjusting what I'm about to say. Thea does know that there's races that look human, but are capable of having dark vision. But she knows that, and with Connery, he's been. I don't know. Maybe he's being more secluded, and she may not know that much because she's kind of and she's been raised in a temple most of her later years, and most of her life anyway. So, I don't know. It's kind of yeah. I guess she's just kind of. All right, I don't really know how to word this. Admittedly, trying to.
There's some confusion and curiosity happening, I think, is the way to summarize it.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, she's trying to get some answers out of Connery based on some of his, I guess, behaviors and the quirks she may have occasionally seen.
Okay. Okay.
Like, especially considering with the fire snake thing, I think she would have suspected someone wearing a cloak like that would have at least taken it off for more mobility or something.
Okay. Sure. I need to think about how to
Yeah.
respond to general curiosity. If people want to coordinate a long rest, we could.
Yeah, let's
I can think
work
about
on
it
that
and then
long
maybe
rest.
insert a response somewhere in there. We don't have to hold everything up for this.
Okay.
Let me
All
think
right.
about this.
Yeah. That's
How
fine.
are you guys gonna do? Who's gonna take watches?
I guess I'll take the first watch.
Okay. First watch is.
I want to be at the end so that I can prepare spells.
So, question:
Go ahead.
like, did I already make my bow by then, or
Bow?
is it? Am I still? I mean, not my bow. I mean, dart.
So
Sorry.
it takes you about an hour at the start of the. We'll say about half an hour actually. You actually pull out some of the teeth and some of the other small bones, and you with some tools that you have available to you in your own experience, you take about half an hour and you make up several darts that are then able to be put into your uh, pack without any issue.
Bowmatter just chuckles and just be like, Bowmatter's gonna be stealthy next time.
It's gonna be interesting, no matter what. Okay, so Akra's on first watch and Moku's on last watch. We got 2 other watches at least. I think that oh, you got 3. You're gonna cast the spell. You have spell slots left? I thought you were out of spell slots.
All of my spells were completely useless in that last fight.
You didn't use any spells?
I could have used like healing word, I think, or cure wounds, but nobody was like low enough that I felt it necessary, and the damage was better.
Okay.
Of smacking some.
Okay, so you have some good berries. 30 good berries. I think that Taros is going to stay up for first watch with Akra, who's going to take second watch.
All right.
Hmm?
That's fine. Nothing. Just saying that's good.
Okay.
Also, I already have water in this gourd, right?
Yes. Connery filled it for you.
Beautiful. Yes, thanks, my brother.
Okay. If no one will take second and third watch, I will roll for them.
I'll take third.
Okay, Connery will take third watch.
Or maybe I'll take second, and that we can use that as an excuse for not there, Akra.
JT will take third watch. Alton.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So as Bowmander finishes up his dart creation, and Xander cleans his itty-bitty rapier and puts it away. Moku settles down off by himself, and you see a little bit of an arcane light up around him as he kind of somewhat silently casts Goodberry a handful of times, collects the berries into a pouch, pats them away, and then you see him kind of sit in meditatively. And there's for those that have eyes to see it, those with arcane experience, they can see just a gentle light around him, kind of flickering and moving a little bit as he focuses on different arcane secrets to hold in his mind, fresh and ready to go. Conry is off, having spoken with Thea briefly, once again stepping aside to a small amount of isolation, while Jien continues to peer about with inquisitive and very observant eyes as he watches all those around him without often making comment. Alton, you hear just making noises, almost imitating the sound of a fire, and there's a whisper, a just the faintest sense of what might have been warmth coming out even as you sit in a cold room down underneath the earth from his magic. and Tados and Akra move forward to prepare their watch, to take the first watch, as the rest pull out their bedrolls and settle in. During the first watch, once it seems like everybody's breathing has settled and it's just the two of them, Tados it takes a moment and actually begins to pray, as along with Akra, they take a brief time to send up their thanks to Bahamut for preserving them both through this long and arduous day, as well as a gratefulness for the meeting of Urki and the rescue of Calcrix. And as you guys are both kind of alternating between watch and prayer, Tados, his face hardens, and he looks over at you, Akra, and you can see a determination in his eyes as he rises and he says to you, I must go.
You have another duty at hand?
And he responds, yes, I was very happy for Urki to go, but just now in my prayers, Bahamut has guided me to know that I must follow after to protect them. They will not be fine by themselves.
I see. Well, I'll pray to Lord Bahamut that you will have safe travels, my friend.
And I will pray for your safety and look forward to the time where we may meet again to travel as Bahamut wills.
All right.
And with that, and just a brief exchange, Tados gets up, and you see as he begins to walk determinedly with a rather rapid pace out as he follows after Urki and Calcrix, knowing that he needs to make up about half a day's worth of travel in order to regain their presence. And,
all right.
With that,
so I guess it's just me at watch right now.
And
after he left,
and as Akra hears the footsteps gently fade as they grow increasingly distant, there's a sense of sadness that after such a brief reunion, to be separated from her longtime companion, and at the same time, she hears almost a whisper in the back of her mind from Bahamut that this is the way for now. And with that small bit of reassurance, she kind of settles herself back down, says a quick prayer, and then begins to just practice brief katas while keeping an eye on the door to help settle herself down, given the emotional nature of the departure. After her 2 hours have passed, there's a slightly better sense of peace about her as she goes off to wake Conry before settling down into her trance. Conry, go ahead and roll me a d20 if you would.
Sure. We can also use this. I think I've somewhat formulated a response.
Oh, go ahead, actually. Yeah, go ahead during that.
Yeah.
When she wakes Conry.
So, okay. Do I need to roll a perception here to realize that Tados has left the building?
No, it's quite obvious.
So I might.
He's
I might
rather
ask.
large.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah.
So I might ask the or Akra. So have we lost our paladin friend?
Lord Bahamut called him elsewhere. he's going to follow Erky and Calcrix. By his will, they'll have safe travels. I
just kind of
look forward to when I'll be able to see him again.
I'll just kind of nod and say, well, safe travels to him then. And he'll kind of see me sit there and think for a couple of minutes, then somewhat weighing your earlier question. And I might, I don't know, I'll kind of slowly start to smile a little wryly and say, well, regarding the cloak and the dark vision, I suppose it can't hurt to say that you could call them gifts from my patron. And unfortunately, this cloak, and you'll see me kind of lift it up and do a nothing up my sleeves kind of thing, is a little bit integral to the pact that I have made with him. So there might be unfortunate consequences if it were to be removed from me. So it's just
I mean, the
nature
cloak
of
is
the deal.
not unusual to me. I will admit, I've seen other warlocks, but I noticed that even most warlocks don't hide their neck as much as you do. Are you hiding something about any features you have? Because I think one night I noticed some sort of, and the night we first met, you had some unusual marks on your neck. Hold on. No, Moku, come on. Let's not get there. Bad timing. Okay, she's just
Moku
curious.
is asleep.
It's not.
He
Moku's
does
Alright,
asleep.
Randy,
Wait,
come on.
Moku doesn't know.
Let it go.
he's
Randy,
sleepwalking.
He's sleep talked.
Bad timing. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I might kind of uncomfortably roll back my collar a little bit and it's like, yeah, there was an unfortunate incident earlier where I sustained this. There's nothing terribly. I don't know. Do you have any comments on this, Will?
It's
I was
just
under the impression it was just some dark
they're
lines.
just dark lines. They're just dark lines on the side of your neck.
Nothing. Just some scarring.
And they're a result of the events that brought you to your pact and the results thereof, which happened almost immediately before you guys met up and began traveling together. So it's still somewhat new, even for Conry at this point. So
yeah,
I see.
Yeah, I think I might mention that. I think that I'm kind of new to this whole deal, so there are a number of changes that I'm not exactly accustomed to yet.
Yeah,
I see. I apologize if I came off as suspicious at all.
No. I mean, you've got a random dude walking around summoning giant tentacles out of the ground.
Yeah.
It's all a little strange.
And Conry, and as far, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but Conry is very much a seeker of knowledge, and so the seeking of knowledge by others is not something that he's uncomfortable with at all, even if he does choose to keep his secrets.
Yes, that is a very good point. So Conry just seems more bemused at this point than annoyed or anything. Maybe down the road, as we learn more,
all right,
we can figure this out.
It's fair. I apologize. I didn't mean to pry into anything sensitive.
Peace.
All right. Yeah. You go on your watch. I'm gonna enter my trance.
All right.
Beautiful.
And I have to roll a d20.
And so as Thea and Conry's conversation comes to an end, he sees her assume a meditative posture and sink off. And go ahead and roll me a d20 if you would, Conry. 13. Okay. So as the watch passes, Conry continues. He actually pulls out his notes briefly as he keeps an eye on things, reviewing not only the maps that he's been making and kind of tracing what's important. He thinks back to on the prisoners that have been left up above and wishes that he had an opportunity to go to check on them. But given the hectic nature recent encounters, was unable to manage it. He also begins to just kind of dwell on the memories of the new magic that he has been performing, and just kind of goes over it again in his mind, trying to become more familiar with what it feels like to use the magic, with how it works, with what it might mean as he considers his future, um, and thinks on his companions and develops his own thoughts as to where he thinks that these relationships will go. After 2 hours, he moves over to wake Alton. And as Alton wakes up, is there anything that you want to say?
Thanks for saving our bacon earlier. Up those heels, we probably would have been some smears on the ground.
No worries, Connery. To be honest, I don't actually really know what came over me.
Well, the heat of combat, kind of get lost in it. But glad to have you around. Just kind of help pull them up and then meander back to my corner.
Very good. Yeah. I think there is a recording, JT, too, if you want to listen to the end of it. It should be posted.
Yeah.
Whenever you have a chance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Multi-attacking fire serpents were really darn hard.
Yeah.
You're telling me.
You guys got it, though. You guys got it. Okay, so Connery goes off to a corner, and Alton takes up watch. Alton's watch passes by in peace and quiet. There's no untoward sounds. He continues to just think about the battle and how, even as it seems that he's not always out there laying down giant hammer blows or long sword strikes or flinging arrows forward, yet his contribution, keeping his allies both up and able to fight, and safe from the attacks of the enemy, are something that he begins to think of as a way that he can contribute, that doesn't need to be measured by the same rules as his allies. And as he kind of sits and makes some noises to himself unconsciously, just constantly in a state of just kind of harmony with his gift of noise, music, sound. He passes the time, and no discordant noises come in to cause him to have any fear. As he finishes, he goes over to Moku to wake him up. Uh-oh, Andy is muted.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to. You were chopping up a little bit, but I'm awake now.
I was having some issues with Discord last night, so let me know if there's any issues now.
It was just for me, though. Because Zach was hearing you fine, which is what I was mouthing. It might be because I'm downloading a bunch of stuff right now.
Okay. So anyway, as Alton wakes up Moku,
Yeah, that would explain it.
Do you want to say anything, or just kind of, and then off to sleep?
It's your turn, Druid.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Not racist or
anything. Station right next to the door. I'm just gonna chill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just stare straight in the eyes of the dragon.
Nice. And as the last, go ahead and roll me a D100 if you would.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh.
And as the night passes, Moku.
He be dead.
Man. And as the night passes, Moku, having finished his arcane preparations, begins to think about the spells that are fresh in his mind at this point. As he has studied his magic, there's an organization to it in a way in which things are brought forward and kind of set on shelves almost. to be brought back again at later dates. And as he focuses on his new spells, he thinks back to when he first had them become be learned, and he thinks about the different ways in which he will be able to utilize his new spells given the encounters and adventures that he's run into so far down here in the Sunless Citadel. And after a couple of hours, he is ready to continue. Do you guys want to take a quick 5 minutes? Because it's 10:50. I have 10:56 right now. I want to go use the restroom real quick. And we'll be back 11 or so. Maybe grab a snack because I didn't eat anything yet this morning. And then we'll be good to go from there.
I've got goodies right here, so
You're
don't worry
good.
about me.
Okay, I'll be back in 5 minutes, and then we'll be back.
All right.
All right.
Yo, Zach H.
Yeah?
I think I will amend that when I say gifts from my patron, I say it in the most sarcastic way possible.
Right.
Okay, are we good?
I think
What were
so.
you saying sarcastically, Connery?
He
I
was
was
amending what
amending-
he was telling me earlier about the gifts from his patron.
Okay, I'll have to.
With gifts being a very sarcastic
Oh,
comment.
fair enough. Okay. So, you guys wake up after your rest, and what do you do?
What happened to the big man?
Oh,
Tados, Lord Bahamut had to guide him elsewhere.
Ah, wimp.
I just kind of lightly punch Bowmander in the arm. Please, respect what he has to do.
No, I understand.
He's scared because he's the only tank now.
Without fire resistance at that.
Ooh.
Yeah, Akra wakes up or comes out of her trance, still not quite fully settled from the emotions of having Tados go, even with the assurance of Bahamut, and is definitely not super excited to talk about his departure, but she'll definitely answer if anybody asks, kind of briefly, as she did.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what do you do?
Make a like a.
Oh, go ahead.
Just about to say, make a side comment saying that just like he was a good lad, but could be sometimes be overbearing along those lines.
Yeah. Okay. Jian, who hasn't spoken in almost 9 hours at this point,
He's a quiet and silent
wakes
type.
up, continues to keep his eyes open. Xander actually, as the discussion is happening, he doesn't really say anything. He just kind of walks out a little bit out front to kind of like take a quick peek as to kind of what's happening. See if there's anything outside that happened in the night, and so he stealthily investigates. Holy cow! Those are some good rolls.
Stealthy man.
Whoa.
He should not have been rolling guidance, but still 24 and 25. Fucking rogues, man. And he doesn't see any signs as he expertly scouts back out to kind of the crevice. He doesn't see any signs of anything having passed by in the night, and he returns back and says, "It looks like we had a peaceful night."
I'll kind of unfurl some of my maps and say, all right, so if we want to keep clearing this floor and try to find the other adventurers, the only other exit I see is that door way back up here in the goblin camp that we chose not to go
This
down.
door, by the way, for everybody who didn't see him.
Oh.
Okay.
So, shall we make our way there?
Seems like a dead end otherwise, so.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay. So
Yeah,
go ahead
let's do
and
it.
leave all your tokens. Let me just move you guys together.
Oh,
1, 2, 3,
hold on.
4, 5.
Wait.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Okay. So you all make your way. Small lag.
We're going to emphasize that we should stay vigilant since things may have changed in the last 8 hours since we've been asleep with the goblin.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. So as you guys come, let's say right here. There we go. So you guys should be right here. Oh, somebody just moved away.
Wait, I didn't.
Sorry, that's me.
Oh, that's okay.
Wait, I can't even.
Do you see your
Hold
token?
Oh, no, that's not it. That's not where it was. I saw it for a
Zoom
second,
out
but then
and go to the main room.
hold on. Let me get back to. Yeah, I see it now.
So as you guys come back over to the door where you had interacted with the labs and the goblins before, Jian mentioned. Who was mentioning caution just now? Was that Jian or Moku? Somebody mentioning. Oh yeah, Moku.
That was Moku.
Okay, so what?
Moku said, "Remain vigilant."
So how do you approach? As you approach the door, what do you do?
I speak and say, "Your savior returns."
Okay.
Oh boy.
So as you go, kind of say that somewhat loudly through the door, you hear kind of excited noises from the other side, and as Moku steps through, you actually see a goblin sticking his head out, saying, "Oh, thank you. Thank you. And he just doesn't even like have a really clear speaking as he just kind of sees Moku again for the first time before kind of rushing back into the room, almost hiding away in an embarrassment. Nice. Yeah, that actually is what causes him to kind of retreat back into the room. And you just hear excitement from this room up at the northeast part, while the rest of the goblins are still pretty calm about everything else that's going on. Okay, so you guys make your way. You can make your way into the pillar room again, and I guess probably head up towards the door in the northwest part, leading out of the northwest room. And then what do you do?
We meant this door up here, right? Soon I can. Hold on. Where is it? Oh, yeah, around that area.
Okay.
I don't know why all of a sudden Roll20 is acting a little slow on me.
It's been happening.
Like the cameras are fine. It's just just
the map.
moving the tokens and such.
Most Saturdays it seems like Roll20 has been slowing down just because so many people are using it still. Okay, so I think Xander is going to try